Alright guys, so this is the second video for Python loop. So what we want to look at now is how the while loop behaves in Python. In the previous video we looked at the for loop and saw how it behaves when we use it on strings, on lists or tuples. So in this video we'll be checking or we'll be looking at the while loop and seeing its behavior. But as I've stated earlier, what you need to always do when you're trying to understand something new in Python is to check the help. Let's use the help function to check essentially what it is. So we're using this to check while. So let's look at this. It says the while statement is used for repeated execution as long as an expression is true. What we are trying to do here is to repeat a certain task or a certain process for as long as the while the expression that is passed to the while construct is true. And what is an expression? So let's look at this. For example, if you say 1 is greater than 2, 1 is greater than 2 here is an expression and its evaluates to false. That is, obviously when you check 1 is less than 2, 1 is not greater than 2, so this evaluates to false. If you say 1 is exactly equals to 2, this is also false. So this expression is what is false, and this essentially looks at what an expression is. You say 1 is exactly equals to 1, this is true. That is, 1 is always equals to 1, obviously. And then you say 2 greater than 1, this is also true. So this 2 greater than 1 here is what an expression is. Anything that evaluates to true or false is actually an expression. So let's look at this. Let's look at an example here in Python. So while 1 is greater than, so let's while 1 is exactly equals to 1, print hello. I'll have to break this because this will loop forever. So let's control B this. Alright, what really happens is, so you see it prints hello and it stops, and the very reason is because of this break keyword here. If I remove this, what it's going to do is it's going to check 1 is equals to 1 is true. So it will now evaluate that while true, that is, as long as it is true, then it will continuously run this. So let's actually run this and see. Do you see what's happening here? It continuously prints hello because it will always evaluate true. This will always evaluate true. 1 will always be equals to 1. So for as long as 1 is equals to 1, you are saying that Python should print hello, and this will continue forever unless you terminate it, of course. So let's stop the build. Cancel build. Alright, so this will loop forever because you didn't put any condition, you didn't provide any condition that will terminate the loop at a certain point. You are saying that for as long as 1 is equals to 1, then Python should print hello. This obviously doesn't make any sense and does not have any use unless on some rare occasions. So what we really want to do is, normally we will have a counter. Let's say I is equals to 1 or I is equals to 0, for example. So the variable I will be 0 starting out. So then let's do something like this. Now let's say we have another variable, say target is equals to 10. So let's say this is a target number to 10, and let's say, well, so let's say username is equals to Mustafa. So we could do this. We'll say, well, I is less than target number. We could say print username. So now for as long as I, what we're saying here is that for as long as I is less than the target number, which is 10, I is 0 at this point starting out, and then the target number itself is 10. So I'm saying that for as long as I is less than 10, then we should print username. But then I is 0 and target number is 10. So this will always be true, right? Unless we keep changing I during the iteration. So at this point, what we're going to do is say I plus equals to 1. If we want this to terminate at a certain point, because now when we say I plus equals to 1 is that during the first iteration, I will be incremented and then I will become what? I will become 1. And then when we iterate again, I will become 2, and then continuously after around 9 iterations, I becomes 10. So after 10 iterations, I becomes 10. So let's run this. Control S, Control B. All right. So you see, we have Mustafa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10 iterations, this now stops. And why does this terminate? Because after the 9th iteration, here I will be equals to what? I will be equals to 9, and then during the 10th iteration, we compare I less than target number. At that point, after making I equals to I plus equals to 1, and I at that point is now 10. Therefore, the expression 10 less than target number becomes what? Becomes false, because 10 is no longer less than 10, but rather 10 is equals to 10, obviously. So I less than target number is no longer true. At that point, this expression, the loop stops, because the expression is no longer true. Expression is false. So to make that clear, let's print I during every step of the process. Let's see, print I. As is for printing username and I also. So Control S, Control B. Or even better, let's do it this way. Let's say print I, comma username. Control S, Control B. Alright, so you see this is what we have. Initially, when I is equals to 0, we print out Mustafa. Then when I is equals to 1, we print out Mustafa. The same thing. So when I is equals to 9, we print out Mustafa, right? But then when we come back at that point here, so you see basically starting out from 0 to 9, we have how many iterations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is essentially what the while loop does. It goes through the it evaluates the expression and then checks if it is true or false. For as long as it is true, then it's execute whatever it is you place in this block. It can be as complex as anything, it can be as simple as anything. It will always evaluate. It will always run everything that is within this block. So essentially, this is what the while loop does in Python. Control F, Control F. So I think we should take another example. Let's see what let's try something else. So let's say there are situations whereby you do not know, you want to loop continuously until some sort of condition is met, but you do not want to use a counter or something of that sort. So let's see how we can do that. And then you want to break when a certain condition is true. So let's see how we could do that. We'll say while essentially you could do something like this, while true. Now what you're saying is that you're telling Python that while true, that is, in this case you're not passing true itself, not even an expression. You're saying that for as long as Python evaluates to true, then you should execute whatever is in the block. And this will loop forever, because for as far as Python is concerned, unless something is false, then it is always true. So this will always evaluate to true, and then Python will always execute what is in this block. So essentially this will loop forever unless we use something called break. And what break does is that it terminates the loop at a certain whenever Python come across a break, regardless of whether the expression the loop the expression here evaluates true or false, Python actually breaks out of the loop and stop looping. So let's see what this will look like. So let's create a variable called counter, and it's equals to, let's say it's equals to 10 in this case. So we could do something like this. We could say if counter less than 5, we could say break, else print counter trace. And let's execute this and see what happens. Control B. This loops forever. It keeps printing 10. And why is that? Because we haven't done anything here to make counter become less than 5. Counter will always be what, 10. We haven't placed any condition, any check to make counter less than 5. So let's do that. Let's try this. Say cancel build. All right. So we need to put a check. For example, here we say say counter minus equals to 1. For example, we want to be subtracting 1 from counter during each step of the iteration. So say Control S, Control B. And then here, so this is what we have: 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So it starts from 10 and then it goes down. And when it gets to this point at 4, obviously 4 is less than 5, so we execute break. So at this point, when counter becomes 4, 4 is obviously less than 5, and that is why we have the break and then the loop terminates. So in this case, you see the loop no longer loop forever. So in this video, we've seen two things. First, how you can go through while loop and execute based on a certain expression that you pass, and for as long as the expression is true, Python keeps running the loop, and it keeps iterating through the loop until you reach a point where that expression evaluates to false, and then Python terminates the loop. And then the second thing we've seen is the break statement that you can actually use conditionally in any case you want. That is, at any point you want, you could place a break and then you terminate, or you also terminate the while loop. So this is basically it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.